Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which takes place every October and now in its 19th year, is a collaboration between government and private industry to raise awareness about digital security and empower everyone to protect their personal data from digital forms of crime. OT cybersecurity is often overlooked. That's operational technology cybersecurity, and it can lead to disastrous effects as seen in the Colonial Pipeline incident. Joining me is Steve Mustard, an executive board member of the International Society of Automation, to share steps that industry can take to ensure the safety of critical infrastructure. Steve, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to be here, Jill. Thank you.
Why hasn't OT cybersecurity been a priority for industry and government?
I think there's two reasons. The first reason, I think, is that those in operational technology traditionally didn't see cybersecurity as a risk. If you're in an operational facility, very remote, usually well protected physically, disconnected from the outside world, no reason to be particularly concerned about a cybersecurity attack. And then on the other side, those outside of OT, I think, frankly, didn't understand what OT was until very recently. In fact, operational technology wasn't a term until 2006, and yet we've been working with this technology for almost 40 years. So obviously, a lot of the high-profile attacks, like the ones you mentioned, those are the things that have made people much more aware internally and externally about this problem.
What's the major OT risks that businesses need to be aware of?
I think you mentioned that OT, it's all about controlling and monitoring critical processes, expensive machinery, and the consequences if that technology fails, it can be catastrophic. People and the environment harmed, operational interruptions, and damage to equipment potentially. So there's many reasons why those systems are vulnerable. Obviously, one of them is the digital transformation age, where users are wanting to connect more and more into OT to get more insights. And through that, obviously, we've now got more exposure in those systems to external threats now. So this is the problem we face, is that with increasing access to the information, now we've increased the opportunity for interruption to those systems.
And for years, ISA has been urging the adoption of OT cybersecurity standards. Why is this so important?
So the businesses who have OT, they're struggling. They need to understand how they can manage the cybersecurity risk, and standards are a way to do that in a comprehensive and meaningful way. So ISA has been developing the only consensus-based international standard for operation technology for many years now, and it's really important, I think, for businesses, if they're looking to improve their security, to understand how they do it. They need to refer to the standard. It's developed by hundreds of subject matter experts around the world, and so it's got all of the kind of knowledge and information you would expect to have.
You know, Steve, even though October Cybersecurity Awareness Month and we're hyper-focused on it, it feels as if we're talking about cyber all the time, and we're constantly hearing about attacks. What's your forecast for 2023? Do you think the cyber industry has the power to mitigate these kinds of risks?
Well, I think on the one hand, we're doing quite well in some ways. The technology vendors are out there. They're providing solutions to provide controls to improve security in OT and IT. I think one of the things that I'm particularly concerned about is the people side. And I know that your focus in this month, for this year's Cyber Awareness Month, is about people and technology. And I think that's really important. You can do all the technology you like, but without focusing on the people and the processes, you're going to have problems. In fact, all of the high-profile cybersecurity incidents that we're aware of initiate in some way from a personal failure, either development of software or failure to follow a procedure. So I've got a simple example. You know, this is the most important security control in operation technology. This is a physical key, and I can use it to lock my most critical cyber devices in my operational environment. This is routinely left unlocked, unfortunately, and so despite the fact that this is one of the contributing factors to the Crisis incident in 2017. People routinely leave these devices unlocked when they could actually do this, and this would be a superb control to prevent any particular issue. So we've got to educate people better about the threats that they have, and then also their role in managing those threats.
Yeah, and Steve, some of it can be just as simple as locking your computer when you walk away, not leaving it out in the public, the multi-factor authentications and so forth that we're constantly being, it's being drilled into our heads. But it's just so important to do those simple things like lock, and I'm guilty of it too, locking your computer, because you just never know who is around and what they're capable of.
That's right. We need to educate people that everybody has a part to play in cybersecurity of their organization. However insignificant they may think their role is, they have a key part to play. And so it's important they understand what the potential risks are, and then also how they can help address them.
All right, Steve, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.